On my mother's life right now, I'll tell you this right now. If you asked me, would you rather have horrible parents, horrible childhood, horrible life, or be killed in the womb without you even knowing yourself? I will tell you straight up, kill me. Yeah, y'all know what time it is. It's debate time. Today's topic, should abortion be illegal? I think we gonna take this one in the books like usual. Oh, what am I gonna be debating? I think it should be legal. You see, I know a lot of you guys are automatically thinking like that's like the motherfuckers, the feminists and shit. My body, my choice. I'ma get into it. Don't worry. It's me. Chat. Spam up the R's if y'all ready for me to get into it right now. And you guys will see the points I make are gonna be insane.
What's good, my boy?
What's good, man? You can introduce yourself as well until I get my notes up real quick and everything.
All right, bet.
Yeah.
So my name is Robert Shy. I'm a 16-year-old entrepreneur. I got a page on TikTok with like 37K, and then another page on TikTok with like 12K that I talk about God and I debate abortion and stuff sometimes. I used to have another account with like 44 before that got banned. I'm not in school right now, but I'm 16 and I'm opposed to abortion, and I think it should be illegal, but with certain qualifications. So when we get in that, it's gonna get interesting.
It is gonna get interesting. So today, just so everybody's on the same page, the main debate is gonna be, should abortion be illegal? Do you want to start off with any points you have at all?
Okay, so I believe abortion is morally wrong. I believe in causal obligation. I believe if you cause someone to be in a state of dependency, you can't revoke this basically like consent for your own means in terms of your social works and stuff like that. Like you want to go to college, or you want to do this, or you just don't want to deal with the child, you don't have enough money. Those are not excuses to take human life. So I believe any injustice, really any, especially pure injustice, should be illegal in society so that we can build up instead of breaking down.
Okay, so you think no matter how the woman gets the baby, she has to keep it?
Yeah, in terms of the cause of it, the only situation where I would say it should be legally like allowed is in a situation where the mother would die and it's medically necessary. That's the only situation where I say it should be legal for her to have the ability to have an abortion without legal consequence.
Okay, so so you truly believe that if a 16-year-old girl gets assaulted and a man forces himself on her and he gives her a baby, she should be required to keep that baby?
So when I go on my live streams, it's a very sensitive topic. So like I try to break it down in the best way possible.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people are not sensitive in here, so you can,
Oh yeah, in your chat, I know those people probably not. So it's like there's three parties involved. There's the mother, the father, and the child.
Yeah.
There's one person who is guilty and two people who are innocent. Who should suffer? Who should get the consequence? The worst consequence you can give somebody.
Did you say that two people were guilty?
No, I said there's, wait, I might have messed up and said that, but I'm saying the only person guilty is the father, and there's two people innocent.
Yeah.
So I believe that the father should be the only one getting the consequence, and I believe death is one of the worst consequences, especially for an innocent person.
So in that situation, you think that father should be sentenced a death penalty, and then the mother should be required to keep that baby?
To not kill it, I believe that the mother shouldn't kill the child. Of course, she can give the child away.
No, but like there's also a process of having the baby. I feel like you're really forgetting that part.
Yeah.
That's a year you're throwing away out of your life.
Not necessarily throwing away. Of course, you're gonna feel a certain way, go through certain changes in your body and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's two options in it. If you don't want to feel this way, you can take this human life. If you have empathy for it, you want to keep the human life. The option is to birth it. So, of course, it's one or the other. It's a moral dilemma. Do you want to choose yourself, or do you want to choose this child? And I believe that you should choose the child because it's the most innocent form of human life. It is a human being, but it has yet to do anything wrong.
But
It's
like
at the peak of innocence.
yeah, like so. By the way, right, the kid do not, like, they're not. I mean, you can say that they're technically alive, but they're not alive to a point they know themselves, and killing them would cause harm. Like, you believe that?
Okay, so in the situation of like consciousness and sensitivity in terms of like feeling pain, it really I can break down the feeling pain when there's some people who are born with a condition right now who can't feel pain.
No.
Killing them is still wrong morally,
Yeah.
even though that they can't feel pain. And the other situation where a person hasn't developed a brain yet, and you take advantage of them not having a brain to look as an entry point for you being able to morally kill them without feeling bad about it, I think that's even worse because now you're picking one spot where it is the most vulnerable, and you're taking advantage of it.
But like, I feel like you're only looking at it from the kid's perspective, right? But have you ever tried to look at it from like you said, wait, like you're a 16-year-old man right now, right? And
Yeah.
let's say a girl your same age that has future plans, that want to keep going to school, that want to live her life, gets forcefully pregnant, and you think she should go through pregnancy, which is very difficult. Pregnancy is not easy. You think she should be required to go through pregnancy at a young age and go through labor, and that should be a requirement. It's not like the mistake. We only started. I thought this was gonna be like an easy thing and be like, oh, if he forced herself on him, like at that point that should be her choice. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even start talking about mistakes. There are people that have unprotected sex and still abort the baby, right? We can get into that later, but I'm telling you right here that a 16-year-old victim has a baby, an unwanted baby, and she knows she can't raise him. She doesn't want to go through pregnancy. She doesn't want to go through labor. She's at a very young age. You
So
truly
you
think that should be
yeah.
like it should be a require? If she wanted to abort the baby, she should face legal consequences if she aborts the baby.
Okay, have you ever heard the term hurt people hurt people?
No.
Well, it's a term where like people get cheated on and then they decide to cheat on other people. It's like in this situation there's a victim and this person is victimized themselves and then they victimize somebody else. If somebody R words me, if someone rapes me and then I go and rape somebody else, I'm not justified. I don't get to not go to jail because someone raped me.
Yeah.
So in this situation where somebody does something horrible to this victim in this situation, it doesn't give this person free regards to go and victimize somebody else. So, why are you making that face?
No, nah. Like you're making a good point. Like I'm making that face because
Yeah.
you're making a good point. But like the thing you gotta understand is, don't you think, okay, when a girl is pregnant, a lot of the things she used to do, she can't do anymore. You understand that, right?
You think it's worth it?
What do you mean? You think it's
Preserve
worth it?
human life?
For a human life that you're gonna raise for your child? Yes. For an
Well,
unwanted baby,
you
I
don't
don't think
have
so.
to raise it.
Why are
So
you
if
having the
you're
baby then? Like it's like okay, just think about it like this. She's pregnant, right? You have to keep the baby. You're telling her you have to keep the baby. I don't want to raise him. I don't want to raise him. I don't want to go through pregnancy. And you're telling her just pop out the baby and give it up. So the 9 months she went through is for nothing. When you see her from her point of when you see it from her point of view, it's for nothing. She went through that 9 months for nothing. She's not even gonna have a kid to raise. She was just not ready at that time, and this is something that forcefully happened. So if I forcefully, right, if I come and put my kid at your doorsteps, do you think you should be required to take care of it?
I believe that in a society where you want things to get better and for we to treat each other right, like if someone drops a baby at your door and you leave that baby to starve on purpose because you don't want to deal with it, like maybe you have food, you have all these resources, but you see the baby and you're like, kill it.
No, let's say
It's
you're
not like
going through it.
it's not like you don't preserve it, it's not a proper analogy. I'll say someone drops a baby at your door and then you let your dog kill the baby, right? Because like you're letting someone kill it. In an abortion you get the doctor to kill your child. In this situation somebody leaves a baby at your doorstep and you tell your dog to like kill it.
Yeah, but like you're thinking of this like, okay, let's say you're struggling though. Like that's what you're forgetting. Like let's say you're a 16-year-old person, right? You live on your own. You're living paycheck to paycheck. You can't afford to have that child. but I leave that child at your doorsteps, and I tell you you have to take care of it. Would you take care of it for a year? Like it's like that's literally what's going on. Like you literally like that guy forced himself on her. He gave her a baby, and you're saying she has to deal with it for the next year. Has to.
I say it's an ultimatum, and that's why I say it's a moral dilemma. Because if you look at it from a selfish perspective, you see the woman and what she goes through. But when you look at it from a moral perspective, an objective perspective, you're looking at the differences. Like the baby is innocent, and the baby has never done anything. It's an innocent human life. Should the woman go on with her life and just kill this child so she can do what she want, or should she let the child live? And what I see it as, I say human life in this form is so valuable, and I don't think it should be played around with in terms of like people being like, oh snap, I don't want to deal with it, let me kill it. Oh snap, I didn't mean to have this baby, let me kill it. Because at the end of the day, we were all once in that one state, of being a fetus, of being an embryo inside of the womb. So it's like you got to have empathy. You got to be like, oh snap, if I had the choice to have somebody up, well, I know a lot of people are suicidal, but if somebody was like, say, if my mom was about to go to an abortion clinic and it was like in some future type of thing, I would tell her, no, don't do that, don't kill me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I want to live. So like when you feel that for somebody else, you're like, and then you start to step back and look at the reasons why they're killing their child. And even in that situation where you've been R-worded, you got a life ahead of you and whatnot, are you willing to take a human life because of it? When you look at the morals, it's not there. You know what I'm saying?
But is it like, like, and this can get like really technical. Is it like a human life though? Like it doesn't have conscious. They're not aware of anything. Like you're only afraid to die right now because you know what death is. Like the baby in the womb, they don't know anything. Like it's like
Doesn't it sound evil to say that though? Just step back from what you're saying and think about what you're saying. You're saying it doesn't know of death, so therefore it's okay to kill it. You know what
I'm not
saying?
saying
There's kids,
like it's okay to,
like
but you're
babies
looking at it.
outside of the womb.
No. You're looking at it. I feel like they're a little bit more conscious to a point. Something bad happens, they start crying. Like babies are a little bit more conscious. They have fear in them. You know what I'm saying? They're developed. They have consciousness. But like when you're in the womb though, like you have to understand. Like I feel like it affects that girl more. Okay, but anyways, okay. I feel like okay. So what you're saying is just because, which is a good point, just because she got forced to have that baby, something bad happened to her, she shouldn't do something bad by killing that baby.
Mhm.
That's what you're saying.
Mhm.
Okay. So I feel like I'll definitely answer that question as we go on. Okay.
Wait. Do you want to break down when human life begins? Because I feel like that's like the proper foundation. Because if you don't think it's even human life, we can't go on to other stuff in abortion. Really, if you don't even believe it's like a human life and stuff.
I would not say this as facts, but I'm just saying my opinion. I feel like human life begins when the baby is born. Like if you
So
really want to get technical, of course, like when the sperm and the eggs connect, and then that becomes a cell that's gonna become like it's a living thing at that point, right? But I'm saying, my opinion, it's when the baby comes out the womb. The baby is conscious, right? Like I feel
so
like,
you believe consciousness is when human life starts?
of course not. If you want to take, like I said, if you want to get it technical,
Mhm.
like I said, it starts when the sperm and the egg connects and becomes a cell. It's gonna grow into a baby, right? That's a living thing. But what I think is when the baby comes out the womb. One thing I want to get out the way is I usually be debating like feminists and stuff like that. People that are usually pro-abortion. People would automatically think I'm anti-abortion, right? But I just want to get it out the way that I don't think abortion should be legal because my body, my choice type of thing. That's not what I'm agreeing with. I have a different point of view, right? Okay. So a couple has a baby, and they're saying they cannot afford to have that baby. 16-year-old couples, they cannot afford to have that baby. They have a lot of future plans. They plan on having a baby, but just not right now. They want to remove it. They know they can't have it, right? And let's say we went your way and forced them to have that baby, right? So not only by forcing them, not only are you affecting the couple's lives, both their lives, they're gonna have to live paycheck to paycheck to provide for that kid. It's their mistake. They have to, they have to pay for it. That's what you're gonna say, right? Like they're living paycheck to paycheck to provide for that child. She's going through 9 months going through labor, right? When she did not want to. So that affected her as a human being. Now the baby is born. He's born into a family that did not want him in the first place. These people are not ready to be parents. Am I not right? What?
I would say that there's a lot of situations that happen like that, but it doesn't end up how you say it. Like
No. Yeah. But like they didn't want him though. They didn't want that baby. They just had to have it because abortion is illegal. If we lived in a world where abortion is illegal, and they wanted to abort the baby and they couldn't, they were forced to have it. And let's say they went through that process, affected the mother because she went through a lot in that pregnancy stage, right? So now, just because we went your way, not only is the mother getting affected, wouldn't you think the child is gonna be affected to be born in in a couple that does not want a baby? They're not ready for a baby, right? They're gonna be bad parents. It's just as simple as that. And bad parents, what does that lead to? Bad parents, bad parenting. You can take it as far as like, okay, now that kid is gonna go through a lot because he has a mother that didn't want him in the first place. Yes, that might not be always the case, but there's a lot of cases like this where a mother had a kid and she's abusive, she's a horrible parent because she doesn't want the kid in the first place. And if abortion was illegal, there would be much more mothers like that. Kids only learn what they see. If they're always seeing their mother and their father fight, if they're being abused, all of that is gonna lead up to them having a bad life. They have a bad life right there. They have a bad childhood, right? Automatically, if you asked me personally, would you rather die in the womb or have a horrible childhood where you're getting abused? I would pick, I want to die in the womb. I don't want to have a horrible childhood. That's what I would pick. That's subjective. You can pick that, right? Let me finish real quick, right? Mm-hmm. And that kid, now, not only is the mother affected, not only is the father affected, the kid is affected. And now when that kid grows up, a lot of criminals, a lot of bad kids come from bad houses, bad parenting. So not only is that kid affected, he's gonna grow up to affect his environment, his whole country. He's gonna end up being a criminal, a bad citizen, just because of bad parenting. It's not easy. It's just popping babies, right? When you have that baby, you really gotta teach them a lot. You gotta be prepared for a lot of things. Kids are like sponges. The first 3 years of a kid's life, right? They observe everything. If they see two people fight, if they hear a lot of words, they're gonna observe it and they're gonna start saying that, right? If you have bad 3 years, the first 3 years, you're gonna spend a long time making up for that. And if the parents are not prepared, he's gonna have a horrible 3 years, and that kid is gonna grow up to be a bad kid. So just by abortion being illegal, this is only one family I'm talking about. So you forced the girl to have that baby. So now the mother is getting affected. The father is getting affected because he has to provide instead of providing for himself and growing up. These are 16-year-old kids, right? Now the baby is affected because he has bad parents. Their kids themselves, they're not ready to be parents, right? So now he has bad parents. And you can search it up. Teen parents are mostly bad parents. And now the kid is growing up to affect like their environment, their country, by being criminals. Just by abortion being illegal, all this shit happened. You think that's fine?
No, I'm gonna go into the stuff you said. I'm gonna break it all down. I see your point, and I see how you can consider it as a snowball effect. But we're not looking at it in terms of societal effect. In that sense, we're looking at the morality. Because there's some things that will clearly benefit society so well financially and just as becoming a better society. People will do better, live better, all these different things, but they're unethical. So if you're saying people should be able to kill their own offspring so that this bad future, this potential future doesn't happen, that's not moral. So when you look at the morality, you weigh it. Killing the baby, dealing with the baby, and letting this child live. In this situation, we as a society, in our government, should look more into solving these problems than trying to look for the easy way out. Because if we're saying, oh yeah, they can kill their babies all they want, you know what I'm saying, as long as they get to, get older and have kids so that their kids won't be bad and stuff. It's just like someone saying, oh, black people commit the most crime, or these people commit the most crime. These people in the hood are always shooting each other. Let's just get rid of them. It might benefit society because it wouldn't be as much shooting, drug dealing, and stuff like that. But it would be morally wrong to have those people
But
killed.
do you think those criminals you're talking about, do you understand that most of them come from abusive houses, bad parenting in general? Like, parenting is very, very important. That shapes you to the person you are today. Parenting is the most important thing in a human being's life. Like, you only know what you're taught, right? If you always have been taught, playing games is bad, you're gonna believe playing games is bad. It's like you only know what you're taught. And like, for you to force people to have kids, you're just setting that kid up for failure. He doesn't
I
have
wouldn't
good
say so.
parents. And like, even like, if you want to go into like the adoption, right? Yes, a kid can really go into a happy house. But when you see the other side of it, adoption, like, it's horrible. The kids that go through adoption, like, go through shit a lot. And like, they feel unwanted. Why would you want a kid to go through all that when he could have just got finished while in the womb? Like, I swear to God, like, personally,
Listen to what
let,
you're
let me
saying.
tell you, though. Let me tell you, you're acting like I'm only saying this to people. On my mother's life right now, I'll tell you this right now. Right, if you asked me, would you rather have horrible parents, horrible childhood, horrible life, or be killed in the womb without you even knowing yourself? I will tell you straight up, kill me. I don't want to go through this. This world is evil. Horrible world. You need your parents to go through that. I have great parents. What would I be without them? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had bad parents, imagine the person you would be today.
I think your perspective on what you would do is a little bit disingenuous because the mind can't even fathom not being alive. So in that situation, you don't know what it's like to not be alive. So you can't say, "Oh snap, I would rather just not be alive." You are living right now. If you really didn't want to be alive, I know you went through some type of trauma in your life where you went through different situations, right? Everybody goes through different things, but at the end of the day, if you were
There's
going
skills to
to,
that though, right?
if, huh?
There's like skills to that though, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's
of
traumas you
course.
can go. Yeah, if I had
Yeah.
bad parents, the traumas would be much worse.
Yeah, when it comes to different traumas in life, you can't count somebody out. Yeah, when I look at it, I'm saying these people are not God. You can't count somebody out because of the possibility of having a traumatic life. When it comes down to it, everybody deserves a chance at life. You can't count these children out because they're not conscious yet or this or that. That doesn't change the morals of it. When you look at the morals and say, oh, they might have a bad life, that's taking out people like me. My dad, as soon as my mom got pregnant, my mom and my dad broke up, and she was thinking about aborting me, but she didn't. She didn't. So me, I grew up without a dad like that. You know what I'm saying? Like in and out. You know what I'm saying? So if you were to tell somebody, oh, you gotta they growing up with a single mom, this is the situation, the dad barely there, had to struggle, had to get made fun of because they have this and have that, that would count me out. But I want to live. I like living. I like the chance to change my life and make it better rather than somebody assuming that I would rather be dead. Just imagine somebody assumed that you would rather be dead. You just wouldn't be here no more. And it's crazy because your mind can't even fathom that. You're so used to like this idea of being alive that you can't understand not being alive. So someone literally, if that was your situation, that was a lifestyle that you could have went through. Imagine somebody just counted you out. Like, oh, he wouldn't want to
Do
live.
you?
He go through this and go through that. So you can't when you step. That's why I say you got to do a lot of stepping back of the situation. You're looking more of, oh yeah, it's gonna go through this, so you might as well kill it before it does that. But when you look at the morality of it, you get to take human life. because of a possibility of suffering.
I feel like I'm looking at the more of the bigger picture, and you're looking at like just pop them out, see what happens type of thing. I feel like, and like it's like you know what I'm saying. Like okay, so like you have to understand. Okay, do you think that majority of people with bad parents, right? Bad parents, horrible parents that didn't want their kids, right? Do you think majority came out good or came out bad? Let's be honest here.
I would
Just
say
you-
majority came out bad, but it really makes no difference in the morality. It's just like if you were to go back in the times where there were slaves, would you say okay, it would be okay to kill their babies outside of the womb since they would go through lynching, will possibly getting lynched, they would go through someone whipping them and all these different things. Would you say it would be morally okay to kill slave babies because it's not even just a possibility. You know they're going to go through this life. So would you say it would be morally okay to kill slave babies back then?
slave. Would you think it's okay to kill slave babies?
Yeah, because the
Like by the
morality
way,
of
I
your
like
situation.
by the way, like I do not think abortion is okay, right? But I'm saying if I had to pick between being pro and anti, I would pick pro, and for the reasons I'm giving you. Okay, like for example, the thing you just
Wait, can
said.
you,
Yeah,
the
yeah, the
slave
thing you
babies,
just
yeah.
said. Like I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna be completely honest. If I had a kid, right? And he going like if my girl's pregnant, why are we talking about the baby's out and I gotta kill him? No, we gotta talk about abortion, just like we are. My wife is pregnant, and I'm going through slavery, and there was an option to abort the baby. I would tell her abort the baby because this is not the world I
That's
would want
not
it to
even
be.
what I'm saying.
That's
I'm
not. Well,
saying
that's
the
not what we're
baby.
arguing
I'm
about though.
saying I'm
You're
saying
you
the
want me
baby
to
that's
choke the
no,
baby? Fucking.
no. I'm comparing the morality. I'm not saying the situations are completely the same. I'm making an analogy. I'm just testing your logic, see if it's consistent because you're saying
Yeah.
because of the situation and the substantial amount of suffering the person will go through determines whether it would be okay to take their life or not. So a person is in a situation of slavery where of course
You're telling me there's a
lynching,
baby though. You're
whipping,
telling
and
me
all
there's
these
a
different
baby.
things.
I
That's
never
taken
said.
outside of the womb.
No, I never. Yeah, exactly. If the baby comes outside the womb, I never said that that baby
Well,
should die because of bad parents. So let's talk
this is
about
why it's
abortion
so
like we're talking
important
about
for you.
abortion.
Yeah, this is the point though. This is why we have to define these things because what is the difference between being outside of the womb and inside
Because
of the womb
in
for
my
you?
in my opinion, life starts when you come outside the womb, when you come into the world.
Life outside of the womb starts outside of the womb. I would say your stance wasn't consistent because you said that it when it's outside of the womb is conscious. It doesn't magically become conscious as soon as it slips out the mom, you know what I'm saying? It's literally conscious in around in like the middle of its development it becomes conscious around that time.
Okay, so
And
do you think it's more okay to abort the baby before that than after?
I think throughout the whole what's called it's really the same morality of killing someone, but it can be worse. So I think it already hit the line where it's murder. You're unjustly killing someone, but it's not illegal. But I'm just saying murder in that sense, so you can get what I mean. It's murder. You're killing someone without just cause, but it these different details can add to how the severity of it, right? So if you kill a baby at conception, I would say that's wrong, right? If you kill a baby outside of the womb, I would say that's wrong, but even more wrong because it can feel it. So it already reaches as soon as it's a human being and it's take its life and you take its life, I consider it wrong to the point of murder, right? But when it comes to like a further development where it can feel it, pain and different things like that, I would say it would have to be more evil for you to go through with something like that, which would make the situation worse. Just like details in the outside world. But what I'm saying is you defined it human life starting at what's called because of consciousness, and what I'm saying is consciousness doesn't start at birth.
I did
So
not
when do you
define
believe
it
human
though.
life really starts?
I did not define it. We're going off based off belief, right? And like, okay,
Yeah.
let's say, okay, no, I feel like, okay, I can say that it starts in the womb, right? So we can get past that point because I feel like we're missing the main point. You know what I'm saying? And that's
What's the
like
main point?
the main point is that baby comes out the womb, has bad parents. Mostly bad parents. That's something I feel like we can all agree on.
The human life starts at conception. It's biologically individuated. The
Yep.
sperm and the egg fuse together, and it's a single cell human being.
Yeah.
At that point, I would say it's a person. A person means you're a living human being.
Yeah.
Personhood, right there, is the marker of human life, and that tells you that it's its own human separated from the mother. Because at conception, it's not even connected to the mother at conception. Usually, it might be touching the mother, but it's not connected until implantation. Once implantation happens, that's when, of course, it sinks into the mother and starts absorbing the nutrients in order to develop. But what I'm saying is that is the marker of human life that is the most consistent throughout any abortion debates, anything you can say. Because if you say birth, that becomes inconsistent once you put it in a certain analogy. But you can't say any analogy which makes life starting at conception inconsistent. But when I was talking about when you think life begins, I was more referring to rights. When do you think a mother shouldn't be able to kill her child for whatever reason? At what point in pregnancy could you pick it and say, this is the marker where the mother, don't care what you got going on, you don't want to be a mother, or you say you're going to be a mother, or you don't got enough money, too bad, you can't kill this. This is a precious human life. It has rights. When do you think human rights begin?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I would say when the baby's conscious, like you said, halfway through the what's it called, birth, right? I would say, and
So
you never
conscious.
asked me that question. Yeah, you never asked me that question, right? Okay, like I understand. And by the way, like I'm not like other pro debaters. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think abortion is right. I will never ever abort my baby, no matter what. I wouldn't agree with anybody around me aborting the baby, right? Like I don't truly believe that. But this is a point I'm trying to make, right? Okay, let's move forward, right? I agree with you. If abortion is murder, like you said.
Unjustly killing a human being. That's what it
Okay, yeah, right.
is. I agree.
But if I'm telling you, I'm pregnant, I'm a girl, I'm pregnant, bro, the baby is gonna have a horrible life if I have it. I'm not ready to be a parent. I don't care. I don't give a shit about this baby. I don't give a fuck about this nigga. Like, he gonna go through a lot. Like, this nigga's not gonna have a good life. You'd still tell me to have the baby.
Yes, why would I tell you to kill it? That's like assisting a murder. You see what I'm saying? But like, if you're talking about legality, I think it's more important as a society to move forward in terms of making injustices, figuring out how to solve injustices. That's it, unjust, right? You think it's murder, you believe it's murder, but why, as a society, should we treat it like somebody cutting off a fingernail, like it's just nothing? There's no consequence, there's no limit to how many you can have, there's no this, there's no that. What I'm saying is, as a society, we should move forward. We should say these people shouldn't be able to kill their baby. There's been over 60 million abortions since it became illegal. Since it's become legal. All of those human lives are now lost. They're not here right now because of abortion. If abortion was illegal, it would probably not even be over 2 million by this time, because it's been legal since like the 1900s, somewhere in the 1900s. But what I'm saying is, if you're pushing more for it to become, to stay legal so that people don't end up in bad situations, that means a bad situation is what makes a person valuable to you in terms of that. Because if that person is valuable, just like a thug, right? If a thug needs help, if a thug got shot, should we provide the ambulance to him, or should we let him die? Because if we let him die, shoot, it might provide something to society, because people won't be getting shot, people won't be getting influenced by the thug, people won't be getting weed from him, and all these different things. What I'm saying is, impact to society in that sense doesn't change moral value. So I don't think it now justifies abortion enough to where we can say this is an injustice that we're gonna ignore because it benefits society in these certain aspects. And I don't think we should move like that.
Yeah. No, you do have great points, but I'm saying though, okay, so at the end of the day, it's about morals, right? It's fucked up for me to say, oh, would you rather pick, okay, one kid that grew up in a bad home, grew up in gang violence, and murdered 5 people? It's fucked up for me to say he should be killed in the womb instead of him growing up and killing 5 people at the end of the day. But
I
it's
don't
like,
think that's realistic.
no. But like, do you see that point though? What do you mean it's not realistic?
I don't think it's realistic because there's no way to gauge that. You can't say,
I
"Oh,
understand that.
by
There's
this
no way to,
thing
okay.
that's observable."
Uh-huh.
There's no way that's observable to be like, "Oh yeah, this person's life is gonna end up like this." You can't just count everybody
But
out. Imagine if the parents, the same situation, same environment, want to have their child. So that would mean if you say, okay, if they want to have their child, they can have it, even though it grow up to kill 5 people.
At least if they want, okay, wait. If they want to have that baby though, they want to have a baby to a point they want to like raise the baby. They're interested in raising a baby, right? I'm telling you though, like I'm telling you, it's just a point you should like look at, right? At the end of the day, if we force them to have a baby, that baby's gonna have a bad life. Like I don't. Like
Okay,
wait. Okay, wait. Hold on. Criminals. Okay, let's just talk about criminals, right? Do you think most criminals come from bad homes? And there's multiple studies on this.
Of course.
Yeah, when I say like, of course, is an understatement. Majority, I would say 1 out of 3 of criminals come from bad homes, bad parenting, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say those 65 million people that were aborted came to this world. Do you not think crimes will rise?
I would think it would be kind of ridiculous because it's just like us in our society right now. If every black person that was in slavery got killed, of course the numbers would be down, and then, of course those people could imagine what it would be like if black people were alive in that time. But it makes no difference in the current situation. What I'm saying is, I would rather us as a society improve the household so that these people could be raised up better rather than killing children. Because if you look at it as an ultimatum, you see that this is a better solution. Rather than allowing people to kill their children, we should provide a solution, because the government is supposed to govern. It's supposed to lead the people to rather to salvation than condemnation. In this situation, I would say it's better to build up the household, provide programs, teach people different things, so that we can have a better society rather than allowing people to freely kill their children. I think that's an injustice, and you believe it's an injustice. You just think that the bad effect outweighs the good. But what I'm saying is there's a different way of approaching it, so that you don't even have to have a bad effect, and you can stop the killing.
So you think that instead of letting people abort the baby, we should have programs and stuff like that to improve, the baby's life. That's gonna
Quality of life. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So do you think no matter how much the government does, how can they like make them good parents? Like if you don't want to do something, and this is common sense, right? Homework. If there's a subject you're genuinely interested in and you have to do that homework, you're gonna do well on that homework because you want to. There's interest behind it. There's something pushing you to do it. But if it's a subject you hate and you really don't want to do it, you're most likely gonna do it bad, right? Anything you have to do usually ends up being bad. So like the parents that are forced to have the kids are gonna most likely be bad parents. And like I feel like we're really
the L's. That's crazy.
we're really what's it called? We really I feel like
it's more sophisticated. If I was a girl with blue hair just screaming at you, they would love it. I bet.
Yeah, probably. But I'm saying though, if there's what's it called? The fuck was I gonna say? Shit. Like, fuck, bro. I lost my train of thought. But no, you make great points. Like this is not a subject I would usually debate on, right? Like, I usually. Yeah.
That trans stuff. I'm interested in those type of conversations.
Yeah, trans stuff, feminist. Even on this, I was always like an anti-abortion, right? And like I saw a Jubilee video, and I was like, bro, like that person is gonna have to grow up to a bad life. But like I feel like you're mostly like, you have more right to speak about this than I do, cause like you went through that. You know what I'm saying? Like there was almost a stage where your mother was thinking about it, you didn't do it, and you didn't have what's it called, the average, the average great family, happy family, but you still came out to the person you are today. And like I understand, Chad. What the fuck can I say to that? He's saying if I'm able to do it, other people can do it. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's I think
And
it's
it's
more
like,
than that.
but like,
That is-
wait, would you deny my point though? The point I'm bringing though.
I would say it makes sense, but also I just couldn't agree with it because there's a better way of doing things. I think the way you're seeing it is the
Oh,
way
dude.
I could see it, but I look at it as a way, the best situation to put these people in, rather than trying to make a better situation by letting it get worse. I don't know how to say that, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, you think no matter what, as soon as they get pregnant, they should have the baby, no matter what.
Yeah, I feel like there's only two options. I mean, you can kill your child or you can have your child. And I don't think there's reasonable cause for killing your child other than your life being at stake. And that's a very minuscule amount of people who deal with that situation. So other than that, all around the board, I don't think there's proper justification for killing the most innocent form of human life. So you see like the effects of society, but do you think that effect is worth those people's lives?
Like I come from Ethiopia. Like that's the trenches. You don't work, ain't no food stamps, no government support, no nothing. You don't work, you don't eat. You are born into a poor family, you're gonna stay poor. Like the only way to make it out is school. And it's so like it's just so tough all around, right? And it's like I know what horrible life is. If you gave me the option of dying in the womb or coming into this world for a horrible life, I would 100 billion% pick dying in the womb. And like life is already tough, and I'm very grateful for what I got. I can only imagine for kids that get abused every day, that are not loved by their parents, that go houses to houses in an adoption because they have nobody to want them. Like a lot of kids like that commit suicide. They lived that many years, and they couldn't take it.
Yeah. I think
And on
if
the
you
other
commit
hand,
suicide, you fail in life.
I don't think you should say it like that. Definitely, I think you should.
I mean,
you
some
should
people
be,
might be
you
offended.
should,
But let me
no, no,
explain
no.
that. I don't want
But
people to
at the
take
end,
that
yeah.
wrong.
But like at the end of the day, though, like you gotta watch it when you speak like that. Yeah, but like all I'm saying is like I don't think that you should ever commit suicide. But there's a lot of kids that have given up because of bad parenting, and if they got aborted, it would have been much easier. And it's just my opinion.
It would have been much easier.
It
as
would have
well.
been much easier for them. And I'm telling you,
It
bro,
would've been-
there's no way to speak about this without sounding like dumb. At the end of the day, like no, like without sounding like fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, chat, I've done a lot of debates. A lot of these debates not nothing for me. At the end of the day, like I be like, you know what I'm saying? Like I be working at the end of the day. But like it's like when
people go to hell when they die.
when like
Or if they kill themselves.
I mean, if you want to bring religion into this, like if you get aborted, bro, you're going straight to heaven. What you worried about? You know what I'm saying?